TJ, you lead a men's ministry called Uncommon. How did you get started in that?
We turned 10 years this past September, and it was founded by a husband and wife, a couple, Greg and Amanda Cash. And it was on their heart to challenge men to be the husband, dad, and leader they were always meant to be. And so that's how they got their start. And what started as an app has ballooned into a international men's ministry that I have the honor of stewarding.
I work a lot with divorcing parents and fathers, and I know many of them are hurting and think that they're all alone and no one understands. You've been in ministry a long time and you create a lot of the content for men. Was there something missing that you saw in men that prompted your resources?
The same things I saw in myself. We're all flawed, starting from me out. And so Romans 3:23-24 says, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and are justified by his grace as a gift through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus." And so we felt like when a mother comes to Christ, her family will join the church 17% of the time. And when a father comes to Christ, a family joins 93% of the time. So we have a huge impact on our families. And we tackle husbands, dads, and leaders, those kind of topics. And we see that every man may think that they're in this box and only they deal with these struggles, but every man deals with lust and work-life balance, self-esteem issues, and more. So we wanted to develop some educational, encouraging, but yet challenging content for guys out there.
It seems like there's a lot of men that are passive and disengaged and withdrawn in the church, and some even in their homes. How do you help them move forward?
We have a balance of encouragement and challenge. And we said we always try to deliver that with truth and grace. Sometimes truth hurts. There's always grace there as well.
That's good to hear. We all have blind spots, and I think we all need a nudge every now and again to help us get out of our ruts. I noticed on your website that you have a charter and a membership. What's the difference between the two of them?
Sure. So we started the charters first, and those are simply a small group. And so before COVID, we were in 8 countries worldwide with about, I think at the top, about 60, 65 charters worldwide. And we give our guys leadership material to run a small group. And so that usually means one man would step up and lead a group of men, whether they be people at their church or friends, family, whatever. And then our memberships, once COVID hit, by God's grace, he laid it upon my heart to start the membership the year COVID hit. So that moved from a small group setting, which we would struggle to keep going through COVID, to an individual membership, so that in case someone did not want to join a group, we have something for the individual. And so that has been very popular with our audience.
I love having that online presence. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. If men need help, then they can find you. I mean, I found you, and I'm in Canada and Alberta, and you're in the US and North Carolina. And all it took was an easy little Google search. I wanted to offer the global audience of men something that they could access from anywhere in the world. And here we are today having this interview. So you could be a huge influence in that way by giving a different, point of view or a different worldview even. So I think this is a really great ministry. How old do you have to be to join?
Well, we started off with and our husbands, dads, and leaders, probably in the mid 30s to maybe 65. And then my wife and I have 2 sons that are in their 20s. And after going through marriages, a wedding for both, and then them having children and just seeing them go through that normal growth, it was a natural segue that we had to add what we call MITs, or men in training. And so now our target audience goes from 20 to 65. And we would never turn anyone away from being too young or too wise if they go past 65. Notice I said wise, not old.
Yeah, that's a great choice of words. Proverbs does say that gray hair is a crown of glory, and it's found in the way of righteousness. So there's a lot to be learned from those that have lived a godly life. TJ, what is it that the guys are going to learn through your material, either in a group or individually?
Well, we cover a range of topics that all of our content has, whether it be a blog article or an original or a workbook, all of them are going to have questions and challenges. And so we felt that while it's great to have a question, you got to have an application to it. You got to push them. I know I got to get pushed to do things. So it always has questions and challenges. And we kind of communicate that every man struggles with something and that you're not alone. Men tend to get in boxes, and those boxes, and we have a work box, we have a sports box, we even have a sex box, and sometimes we even have a nothing box, ladies. A nothing box. Guys get into that box and they may look bored, but we're just in our nothing box. And so we kind of talk to guys that are going through just some of the same struggles, some of the same issues, and lock arms with them, trying to encourage them that we can be the men that God called us to be. And so we're kind of encouraging men to do that.
So, how do you go about doing that? What's different about Uncommon Men?
Well, in short, nothing. As we said before, we're all sinners saved by grace. And so we all need the help of the Holy Spirit on a daily basis. And so, we wanted to create something that was, no pun intended, uncommon for men. And so I think every men's ministry out there kind of stands in the same field, trying to discuss topics. And so we try to talk about things that were just on the outside of the main topic, like porn addiction. Well, that's one topic, but tying that to human trafficking is a big deal. It changes the conversation. Talking about empty nests, how to speak to your adult children, and then also speaking to that young adult of how to handle the empty nest from that point of view. So we try to talk about things that are maybe just a little off the main conversation while still covering the main conversations.
Well, I know you have a lot of resources. 20 traits for a godly leader, 25 conversations to have with your children, and 25 ways to romance your wife are just a few. What's on the horizon for Uncommon?
I always have big plans every year. We have our upcoming board meeting this coming Saturday. And so we're always trying to push the envelope. We are a, 100% donor supported. So it's always, kind of up against that. We're always trying to work smarter, not harder. And so developing content that is deeper, I think is going to be the call this year. We're going to be doing some video roundtables with some of our board members. We're going to be hitting some milestones, like we're going to hit over 3 million subscriptions to our devotions on the Bible app. We'll hit like about 75 devotions that are available on those platforms as well as our website. And so, just working with more partners is a big thing for this year. We're trying to develop some friendships and connections with some podcasters that really touch on topics that maybe we don't, and do a good job of mentoring. We have a guy that does a sports ministry that is fantastic, and we're partnering with this year as well. So that's on the horizon for 2023. But God's ways are not always our ways, and so how we end the year is sometimes a little different than how we start the year. And so we always try to have an open hand when it comes to our plans.
Well, you know what they say, where God guides, He provides. You talked about a Bible app. Where can the men find that?
So if you go to your whether it be the Apple or Android platform and download. It's called Between Sundays. And so it's a free Bible app. We're kind of that's the umbrella. We're one of the ministries on there. If you download that, you'll see Uncommon as one of the ministries to choose from. And so we have that app, and we also push a lot of our content from our website to that app. So it kind of makes it a lot easier to partake in things.
I love that. Anything that makes it easier to grow is a plus. Well, guys, if you're listening today, here's a great resource and a great membership to grow in if you're looking for more accountability in your life. TJ, you have a gift for the guys today. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
We do. So we have some free resources. We have 6 actually, and you do not have to have anything associated with a membership or a charter to get this. All you need to do is provide your email and download whichever resource you want. There's 6 to choose from, and it's from uncommon.org/free-resources, and I'll provide that link to Lori to push out. But that's always growing. We're always increasing our free resources. We'll probably have double that by the end of the year.
Thanks so much for offering the resources. I'll definitely share that with everyone so that they can find that. Before we go today, maybe there's a guy out there that's feeling lost and doesn't know what to do with his life. Could you offer him some encouragement today?
Sure. Just know that you're not alone. There are ministries, whether it be Uncommon or many others out there, that you can turn to and find other people going through or have gone through the same exact issue. We tend to believe that not only are we going through something alone, we're going through something that no one else can identify with, which is not the case. So if Uncommon can help in any way, please sign up or email me, and I will put you in touch with someone or a ministry that can help.